Good morning. Here we are back on the TR7 Sprint. Just a few updates today. I've got all the new plugs in today, or yesterday, and again I decided to turn these two over. This one was there, that one was there, so I just managed to actually pry them apart. Not so great that I actually split the metal, but that's all set up. I decided to run another check once the spark plugs were in. I've also got the new coil in as well. Nice shiny new Lucas one down there. So it still gets a bit hot, but you know, it absolutely pulled and ran like a dream. And she's sticking. The engine's cold. I haven't had her on this morning because I've got a few jobs I'd like to do, and this is basically the update. So I'll keep this one as short and sweet. So new plugs, new filter, baseline verification. She's ticking over between 700 to 800 RPM, and it says on this little ticket here, idle speed. Neutral 650 to 850 RPM. I mean, I'm happy at the 850 if it changed that. And she pulls very, very nicely now. And a few other cosmetic jobs to do. One of them being, come down to here. I've got as I said, the rubbers on the exhaust were different. And there was a snoop on the exhaust, so I've taken the rubbers off, and these were really difficult to get off because the gap between the hook and the chassis member was quite thin, and these must have been prized on with some force. And these are the size of the rubbers that should be on the back box. And for anybody interested, there's the part number from Rimmer Brothers. And what I like about Rimmer Brothers website, whilst I'm on the subject, is that when you order the parts, you get a nice explosive diagram with a part number that's pointed to the part that you need. So you can't get it wrong. So whilst I was there, I thought I'd get two new pedal rubbers for the clutch and the brake. And I know these can be a bit of a pain to get on, but they will go on. And the idea is that if it's hard to get in the car, with the seats that are higher in this sprint car, and with a large diameter steering wheel, your feet get caught under those, I'm not sure if you can see in there, get caught under those pedals. So if it's hard to get in, it can be equally as hard to get out. So and I sold this to the idea of this to my wife, so she's happy with these pedals now. And yeah, so I'm going to get that done today, and my wife is going to be out and about today driving and getting more used to the car. So that's it, brief update. And yeah, she's coming along nicely, and it's not a bad little drive either. I'm quite enjoying it, all the testing. Right, so with that, anything major to report, I shall certainly put it here. And thanks for watching. Bye now. Right, good morning everybody. I have some update news for the 7 Sprint engined TR7 convertible. And what you can see today is I have the outside carburetor off. And here she is. Now, what did I find? On a run, she started to climb in revs again. I thought, interesting. And this is after I'd baselined it, and I was quite happy with it pulling. The revs came up, and so I got it back home and took a look at it, and what I found was that the jet here was still, let's get it into the light, put it here safely. The jet here was still sticking down, and I hadn't really done anything, and then the engines dropped, the revs dropped, and I thought, whoa, what's going on? And this was still sticking slightly. Now I took this out, I stripped it down, and what I found was that the mechanism here, when I rotate that, it's coming up and down nicely, and this mechanism in here was slightly bent, and it was causing this system to stick. And on the other side of this was a tiny, if I can find it, was a tiny sprung-loaded washer. And I thought, that's not supposed to be in there. So I took that out, and then I took this mechanism off, I rewound the spring to where it's supposed to be, just to make sure there's enough oomph on that, because I thought it was a bit weak, and I don't think the spring was set correctly. There is a backlash for this one, that's not the spring, and then this spring here, which clamps into there, and on a pip around the other side. So that's nice and strong now, so it would have to be something really serious to get that thing to stick now. And she's going lovely there, up and down, and she just stuck slightly out like that. And I think that is probably the root cause of all the issues, because I remember saying in one of my previous videos I had actually found that the jet was sticking down. I thought I'd resolved that. I thought it wasn't a major issue, and obviously turning those connections around and what have you, I obviously put some stress on the system. And yeah, I think now what I can do is put all this back together again and baseline it once more, and have a bit more confidence in the car. And so, and as you saw in the previous video, I was getting it to run about 750 to 800 RPM, but then actually pushing it on the road, obviously this running from cold, this jet had actually stuck, and she'd raised in revs, and I thought, that's not right, there's something untoward going on. And yeah, still pulling quite well, but not running as I expected on dipping the clutch. And so yeah, this is where I am with it at the moment, and thankfully I've caught it. So get it all back together again and start again. Yeah, I've been checking this out like you wouldn't believe, and this one's okay, it's not a problem at all, the inside one. But I've had that in the house, and I've been on the bench with it, and yeah, a bit comfortable. And I must say, the even though I took all the fuel out of it, I drained it out, you get that smell of petrol with the metal, and that smell takes me right back to the 80s. It's the smell of the 80s with these engines, and it's lovely. And yeah, so I think with that I shall get all this back together again, and you should see me again once it's all up and running. So yeah, I don't think that's supposed to be in there on the other side of the what would you call it, the link. Yeah, so that's out, and I've got the two new securing, whatever you call these, the captive washers or whatever they're called. Anyway, so it's all going to come back together again, and we'll take it from there. Alright, thanks a lot. Bye now. Can't find the off button. There we are. Alright, so I've got the car back in again. The two new exhaust rubbers are on, I'm sure I've said that. And it's up the temperature. It's running about 800 or so RPM. And here we are. Just check the balance here. I've just balanced it. It's roughly about 10 on that gauge. On the idle now, about 10 as well. Replace the seal and the little washer that's in there on the pipe. Dry as the bone. Yep. Just tightened up the choke cable, and have a look and see the float. Well, I suppose I could set the idling a little better. I think, but yeah, she's settling down. I think so. Temperature's holding. So I'm going to take her out for a run and see how she performs. I did have the alarm going off because the battery had gone down a bit, and that's the voltage on now. Still sitting a bit high there, so it's that's the reading actually of the alternator. So I turn her off, switch it back on again, just the ignition. Let's see where the needle is. The fan's running at the moment. And she's roughly about midway, so she's got to be up there, so she should start quite well. Start it again. Just give that a bit of a blip. Needle just started to climb there as the battery's getting charged. So a good run on this will actually determine if she's okay. Yeah. So with the choke, if you look at that, you can see that one there. Zoom in on it. You can't see it, it's a bit dark. Let's get that light repositioned. See if that'll work. Hold it on there. There. We go there. Right there. Put it to there. That might work. Nope. Let's get it to there. That'll do. So you might be able to see when I pulled the choke out, this was the one that was sticky. It's that red thing there. I'm not sure you can see that. Coming right back up again, and if I with my finger, sorry about the my finger here, she's all the way back up again. This one's never been a problem. So yeah, there we are. Put the lamp back for a minute. It says, oh. Bit of a faff, isn't it? Oh, that's good. Now get in there, yeah. There we are. Right, so I'll pack away all my tools and take this out for a bit of a spin. I'll get the filters back on, of course. Hopefully she's alright. I say hopefully. She should be better in the running. Everything's hunky-dory now. Make sure I've got everything connected. Yep, there's the everything's in there, nice and tight. Yep. Okay, let's put that back on. That's the servo for the brake. I think I'll tighten that up somehow if it's any good. There. Right, so from there, I'll report back if anything untoward after the test run. Okay.